Hey, what's going on everyone? My name is Elsie, and today we will be discussing key tips for beginners who are just starting DC superheroes and villains. Without further ado, let's jump in. The first tip is all about character selection. You really have to take the time to explore and understand the unique abilities of each character and the playstyles that suit each hero and villain. Some people may like ranged attacks, some people may like close range. It varies to what suits your playstyle. So for me, I like to be very close range. However, I do like a support that will help heal my team and take a good amount of defense. So for example, I like to use Poison Ivy because she can do good damage on her special, and she also has the added bonus of healing herself and her teammates along with that. However, you may like someone else who is a big damage dealer, so you may like the Joker, Batman, or Beast Boy, anybody who's a damage dealer. But I think those three, at least for me, they are great damage dealers. You just have to pair them up properly. It's also important to understand that you have to study these characters' synergies properly. And I'm not just talking about what colors go together, because I believe there's like 4 or 5 colors that are, or elements that are in this game. But you have to recognize that these guys fit on certain teams. So you may have a Justice League team, a Teen Titans team, or a regular Titans team, because apparently there's 2 variations. That's besides the point. There's also another team, I don't know if it's called Doom in this game, but it's like basically the villains team. But yeah, that's also a thing as well. So yeah, you have to really understand their synergies and how they go together as well. Now you can absolutely put heroes and villains onto one team. I still do that to this day. But in order to max out your team's fullest potential, I think it is better to, once you obtain more characters, then you can start building your teams properly with better synergies and better practices. The next tip is upgrading your gear, and upgrading your gear is so vital in this game. I kid you not. If you don't upgrade your gear, you're not getting anywhere. Believe me, I have tried and it does not end well. You have to keep grinding it. I know it's a pain to keep, refreshing and spending your energy on certain missions so you can get the gear, but this gear will help you not only level up, but power up your characters that you are using to help further progress in the story, and also rank higher in the leaderboards in terms of PvP. Even though there is a grind to getting the gear, you're also able to buy certain gears in the marketplace for actually not a bad price when you use the in-game currency. So I take advantage of that because not all of them are available in the store. So whenever you see one that you can buy, definitely go into the store and obtain that artifact you need to craft that gear, because that will help you progress so far into the game. The third tip that I have for you is mastering the combos and special moves. So what I mean by this is matching certain colors and certain numbers of colors in each row, if that makes sense. So basically, let's say you have 2 blues in the first row and 2 greens in the second row. However, there is a third green and blue just switched in the opposite side. If you switch those 2 into its better corresponding spots, you can get a combo off, at least 2 combos off. And if you're lucky, you may get a 3rd combo, heck, even a 4th combo off of that. Because sometimes, once you get rid of your first 1 or 2 combos, the tiles that replace the ones that you've used become their own matching tiles, and then they'll add on to the tiles that you've hit, and then the chain just starts over and over again. It's a never-ending cycle. And then more colors will start to match, and you'll be able to hit off as many combos as you need to help beat the level. Now, as for special moves, this one, it can be tricky. It can be absolutely tricky, and not because they're hard to do or hard to get. That's not the case. The reason why it can be a tad bit difficult is because you want to be able to do the most amount of damage, and well, in my case, I like to have someone who's dealing damage and someone who's healing plus damage, right? So in this instance, again, Poison Ivy, she can do damage and heal at the same time. And then I may use Flash, or I may use Batman to do the damage, right? So I mainly use those 3 characters to help catapult the damage, as well as help bring my team up back in health so we don't lose the match. You should also take note that certain debuffs may apply to certain characters. What I mean by that is some characters have the ability to put a debuff on the opponent. So let's say Poison Ivy inflicts a poison to the opposite team. They might not be able to evade certain hits, or they may not be able to heal themselves, right? So you have to really understand their kits and their super moves to help you further progress in battle. The next tip I have for you, it might be the most important tip that might ever come across this video, and that is complete your daily and weekly challenges. I cannot stress that enough. Not only does that help you level up faster, it gets you rewards. It gets you diamonds to help you get more characters. What more do you want from that? I don't know what else you would want. I know I would want it. I know I do want it. They aren't the easiest to do in terms. Well, the weekly challenges, they aren't the most efficient to do in terms of the weekly challenges, because the weekly challenges not supposed to be done in like a day. That's what daily challenges are for. But they can be a little bit stressful, but in due time, you will eventually get them done. Adding on to the challenges, there are the daily and weekly events where certain elements and in-game currencies and gears may drop in certain sections. So, for instance, you may have a Monday, Tuesday, and a Sunday for in-game currency. You may have a Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday for the credits you can use to acquire characters, and etc, etc. And now for the in-game event challenges, that one's a little bit tricky. That's mainly for in-game currency, such as the credits and the diamonds, right? Now, there isn't much drawbacks to the challenges because they give you free characters to use, and they're all like scaled incredibly high. So there's no reason why you shouldn't be able to complete that or have any problems with it. The only troublesome part of it is that they're mainly in segments. And what I mean by that is you have certain moves. You have a certain amount of moves left in order to beat the level. So let's say there are 10 enemies there and there's 30 turns for you to use. If you aren't careful and you go over that threshold, you lose the match instantly. And again, it's a puzzle game, and I know that's very, very common for it, but it also sucks because it's like, you know, you've done everything you can and you're sure you've done it the right way, but you use all your moves and you have nothing left in your arsenal, and you have to do the level all over again, which just feels so exhausting. But the plus side is, if you do it right in a certain amount of moves, the rewards they're substantial. They're fantastic. Don't forget to save your gems, by the way. You really need those. Lastly, the last tip that I have for you is join a guild. Now, as for right now, it's not that beneficial. It's mainly used for communication against people who are in your guild, and that's about it for now. I'm pretty sure they'll make an update about it soon. Maybe there'll be like a guild war or something along the lines, I don't know, but it's often nice because you are able to also earn rewards from being in guilds, right? So yeah, you can talk amongst your guild members, but there's not much to do other than that. However, there is a tab on the left side of the screen where it says raids, so that's definitely something that will come in the future in terms of this game. So I'm not saying you don't have to join a raid right away, as there is like nothing like huge concerning it right now, but you definitely should keep your eye on it because anything could change in a matter of days or weeks. You don't want to be left behind when everything is starting to fold into one another and settle into place. But I believe that covers the essential tips that I have for you today in this video. Remember to choose your characters wisely, upgrade your gear, master your combos, your strategies, complete the daily challenges, really understand the elements that are part of this game, and also complete the weekly and event challenges. And also join a guild. Maybe, depends. It doesn't really matter right now, but honestly, it's up to you. For me, I don't care, but it's up to you. But that's it for today's video. As always, thank you all for watching. It is always a pleasure to make a video for you guys. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more mobile gaming content. And I'll see you guys in the next one.